today I'm going to be showing you how to do keyword research for your website by showing you how I do keyword research. And keyword research is an amazing thing to do because if you want to naturally, organically, and most important, freely climb the rankings of Google, then keyword research is a must because there are some words that you just can't rank for. Like you couldn't rank for the word shoes. Nike, Adidas, all those guys have a pretty strong hold on that. But let's say that you were like a mom and pop shoe store in Atlanta. Well, ranking for something like running shoes store Atlanta would be a lot easier because it's a lot more niched down. When I first started my entertainment company, we didn't get any traffic at all. And it wasn't until I started ranking for a few like kind of minor keywords that we saw a huge bump in traffic. And then when you start ranking for the ones you really want to rank for, then all of a sudden your traffic takes off and you're doing good and you're getting leads left and right. But it took a long time. SEO is a little bit of a slow play game, but once you get those positions, if you can hold on to them, it will bring you a lot of traffic. So with that in mind, let's jump into keyword research and how it's done. All right, here is the tool that I use. It's KWFInder.com, presented by Mangools. Sorry I'm kind of off screen here, but this preview window right here is a little bit big, so I had to move it aside. Anyhow, there are a lot of keyword research tools, but this one works really well for me. It was introduced to me by a fellow named Miles Beckler. But anyways, here's how it works. So the company that I'm doing keyword research for today, that I'm doing a keyword research audit on, is a radon mitigation company in Atlanta. So that's really good because radon mitigation is not super competitive. And then it's also in Atlanta. So that narrows down the searching options even more. So it's not going to be a pain to get some websites ranked for this. So I don't know much about the radon testing, radon mitigation industry, so I'm just going to type in exactly what they do, which is radon testing Atlanta, and I'm just going to see what results pop up. So I'm just going to leave my location set to anywhere. I'm going to use it set to any language. I'm just going to find some keywords. Okay, so this is what pops up. So obviously the first kind of big thing you can see is this big easy button. So that is the level of difficulty that we would have trying to rank on the first page of Google for radon testing Atlanta. And as you can see, it wouldn't be very hard. If let's start on this kind of left panel. So radon testing Atlanta, as you can see, it's been trending down for the past maybe 9 months or so. You can see there are 12 bars. That's each month of the year. So it looks like in April, people don't search for it at all, whereas in May, you get a spike in search. So that's interesting. Maybe it's seasonal. You're getting 79 searches a month. That's average. So that's all the searches over the last year divided by 12, which is not a lot of searches, but we'll come back to that. The cost per click, the CPC, if I was trying to show an ad for a radon testing company, it would cost about, on average, $6.23 to get people to click through to my website. Now, this PPC metric right here is kind of the competition for paid ads on Google AdWords. So 0 means no one's advertising for it and there's not a lot of commercial intent, whereas a 100 means that it's about as commercial and purchase intent as it gets. So this one's a 36, so that's not bad. And if you hover over these, you can kind of see explanations as well. Finally, the KD, which is the keyword difficulty, which just means how hard is it to rank on the first page of Google, with 0 being super easy and 100 being impossible. You'll never do it unless you've got millions of dollars. So that's what this looks like. As you can see, these are kind of all take advantage of Google's suggested search. So it taps into their search API and gives you a lot of related words that you can read on down. Now this also delivers results in real time. So as you can see, this one doesn't have a keyword difficulty, but if you click on it, then it searches it and then it gives you the results back and then it'll be there next time. Anyhow, let's go over to, so if I just clicked on radon mitigation Atlanta. So it brings up all the metrics for that specific word. So you can see the trending results for the last year. You can see the difficulty if you hover over it. It kind of gives you the breakdown of that. And then finally, this is the first page of results in Google for radon mitigation Atlanta. So the first result is Metro Atlanta radon mitigation. If you hover over that in the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see it. Cook's Radon is next, Yelp, Home Advisor, so on and so forth. So you can kind of get a gauge of how competitive that first page is by looking at the DA, which is the domain authority, which is a Moz ranking, and the page authority. So the higher these are, the harder they're going to be able to knock off. Now, the good thing about this is that these page ranks aren't too high. So a DA of 7 and a PA of 18 is not too bad. It's very doable. Whereas Yelp has a DA or a domain authority score of 94, but the page authority is only a 1, so you might could still do that. And then, of course, you can go into the Moz rank of the URL, the trust factor, how many backlinks it has, Facebook shares, so on and so forth. But then this is really cool. This is how many, to the very far right, are how many estimated visits that this web page gets per month for people searching radon testing Atlanta. So if people search that, radon mitigation Atlanta. If people search that, then this front page is getting an average of 21 visits a month. So not a ton, but if this is a high converting keyword, that could equal 21 new clients a month. Or take half of that and you've got about 10 or 11. So it could be good, just depending on what your business model looks like. Anyway, so I am trying to come up today with a list of keywords that this company I'm working with could rank for, and just kind of add them to a list. So like if I find a good one, like if this one was something where I was like, hey, we should create a resource, or we should create a video or a piece of content kind of centered on the word radon mitigation Atlanta, I would check that, and then check that one, and check that one, and then you can add it to a list that you can create here. So that's what I would do. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So radon mitigation is something I don't know a lot about. When you're doing your keyword research, it might be good, especially if you're doing it for another company or you're doing it for something you don't know a lot about, to kind of do some research on the front end. Read Wikipedia, read a few Quora questions, read a few even Yahoo answers, just something to get a little grasp on the vocabulary being used in the industry, things like that. But anyways, do as I say, not as I do. So I'm going to kind of dive in here. So what I like to do is organize by search results first, because I'm looking for anything to see if we can rank for anything that has over 1,000 searches a month, because that's going to be worth the biggest bang for your buck. If something's getting searched 10 times a month, you don't want to spend a ton of time necessarily creating a resource for that, because it's not getting searched very often. So we'll see if there's anything. The first thing I usually do is filter by search, and then as I'm scrolling down, I'm looking for green over here. So radon detector, 6,600 searches a month, and it's got a 33 difficulty ranking, so that might be something I'm looking for. But again, I kind of want to pick out what's going on in Atlanta, so I'm kind of looking over here for keywords that interest me. Because think about it, someone that might be looking for a radon fan is probably not looking for radon testing done in Atlanta. Like, what are the odds of that? You could have someone in California looking for a new radon fan. So I would not advise a radon testing company in Atlanta to try and really kill their resources ranking for that. Gotcha. So I'm kind of getting a lay of the land here, but I'm going to go ahead and resort by suggestions. That way it's going to give me, and I'm actually going to redo this. That way it's going to give me more Atlanta or even Georgia focused keywords. So radon testing Atlanta gets searched 79 times a month about. Looks like it's pretty easy to rank for, but 79 is just not a ton. However, I am going to add this to the list. I kind of add them one at a time. I'm going to create a new list, radon keywords, and then I'm going to add that. Radon mitigation Atlanta gets searched 90 times, but it's still pretty easy to rank for, has good commercial intent. So I'm going to add that. Atlanta radon gets searched 40. Let's see the keyword difficulty for this by clicking on it. 23. AtlantaRadon.com. Now that's pretty interesting. It looks overtakeable. It's got a DA of 12 and a page authority of 17. So if I'm trying to rank for Atlanta Radon, I'm automatically thinking this, get a few backlinks, build up a little bit of traffic, and you could probably overtake that page fairly easily. So I'm just going to add that one just to have kind of something to take back. Radon gas, DRI. Gotcha. Now notice I haven't yet sorted by, up here in the keyword finder, you can also search by country, city, DMA region, and obviously by language. So I haven't even done that. And you can also, in addition to searching for suggestions, search autocompletes and search questions as well. So just really good avenues for creating some good content to get your website ranked on Google's first page somehow. So while I'm doing this, I'm becoming more and more familiar with some of the terms for radon. Looks like radon ventilation, radon mitigation companies, radon solutions. So lots of options. And like, let's say radon mitigation system installation looked interesting to me. You can click this arrow button and it will search that, and it will bring up all suggested results related to that, which it looks like there's not a lot of. So anyways, I am going to type radon testing, and now I'm going to narrow my results down to the Atlanta, Georgia DMA region. Actually, I'm going to go with city first. Let's see what comes up with that. So do a search here. No keyword suggestions. All right. Let's make this a little bit more broad. All right, so those results don't have really anything. So let's see what radon mitigation has. And I'm going to use the DMA region, and we're going to search that. Okay, so this is interesting. Radon mitigation is getting searched about 260 times a month within kind of the Atlanta, Georgia DMA region. And it's still easy. It's a 37 out of 100. The top result is Wikipedia. And then Cook's Radon is second, and it's got a DA score of 14 and 28 with not a lot of Facebook shares, and it's getting about 35 visits a month. So I'm thinking I could probably get on this first page for radon mitigation specified to people that search in Atlanta. So it's a little bit abstract, but that's kind of just what you're thinking when you're doing this. So radon testing. When someone searches from Atlanta, radon testing, it's getting searched about 880 times a month. And AtlantaHomeInspector.com is getting about 217 visits. But the DA and PA aren't very high. So these still look beatable. It would take, I'm looking at probably about a year, maybe 18 months to get on this first page, judging by these numbers. But I think it's still very possible. Now, kind of one little caveat. The highest DA and PA doesn't automatically rank the page number one. As you can see, SOSradon.org has a 49-47 with more Facebook shares, but it is in the number 3 position and is only getting about, let's say, a third of the visits that Atlanta Home Inspector gets. Now, why is that? Well, it could be for a number of reasons. Without having clicked through to these pages, it looks like if someone is searching in Atlanta for radon testing, Google wants to deliver the best results. Something on AtlantaHomeInspector.com/radon testing is probably going to be a lot more appealing than something on SOS Radon /real estate, which might not even be related to radon testing at all, might not be Atlanta based, anything like that. So remember, Google's always trying to serve up the best results, which is why if you can take and create really high quality content that's relevant to the intent of a searcher, you can rank really high. So someone searching for radon mitigation in Atlanta probably needs radon mitigation done in the Atlanta's metro area. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So anyhow, that's basically how I'm thinking about keyword research. So I'm looking for keywords that get searched fairly often, especially if it's region or city specific, that have as low of a PPC ranking or a CPC. As you can see, this radon mitigation has 100. So if people are searching for this, they're looking to buy, purchase a service, something like that. So it'll be really competitive if you're running AdWords to this. Not to say that you can't rank and get featured in those few ad positions, but it's going to be competitive. But you're looking for kind of the golden unicorn keyword result would be a low keyword difficulty with a higher search ranking or with higher search queries that you could get on the first page of Google for. And you're going to want to create content around that. How do you get on the first page? Well, I'm going to just click into this first page for radon mitigation in Atlanta. All right, and this is a page for the Cornerstone Inspection Group. Now I'm going to kind of break down this page. So right up top is probably an H1 tag for radon testing, and you can test that by opening up Chrome's keyword tools, and I'm going to highlight that, and it is in an H1, which means that that's the most important word on the page. So this is telling Googlebots, hey, the most important term on this page is radon testing. We put it in an H1 tag. All right. There's a video here. I don't know if it's made by the company or not, but videos, kind of the more multimedia you have on a page, the higher it's going to rank because you're giving people lots of value and quality here. It looks like it's kind of a FAQ based page. So why is radon the public health risk that it is? Here's a map of Georgia and kind of shows you where some hot zones are for radon, the concentration of radon in Georgia. But however, this page isn't very long. Looks like it's only maybe 300 to 500 words. So I'm thinking if I can get some sort of video embedded onto this page and then kind of make this page a central source of intelligence and information for radon testing in Georgia. Maybe you write double the amount of words. Maybe you write triple. And then I'm going to add some more pictures. Like it doesn't even look like, well, this picture is embedded. So we could look up the title for it, but you can add alt attributes to your images that says Atlanta radon testing. And you're just consistently driving home to Google that this is a page, this is a resource about Atlanta radon testing. And when they read that, they're going to say, hey, this is valuable stuff. Someone searching for Atlanta radon testing probably wants to read this. Boom, shoot up the search engine results pages. So that's kind of how it works. So go out now and kind of just start looking for keywords related to your industry, related to your city or your location that have low keyword difficulty but high search results. I kind of like to look for at least over 800, but ideally over 1,000 or 2,000. And once you find it, create content centered around that keyword or phrase that can beat out the search results that are right here on the front page. So again, if your DA or PA is really low, you might want to start bringing that up. How do you do that? Well, you start by you can get some backlinks. You start by getting traffic. You start by creating more on the page speed, just all the things that Google likes to see in a high ranking website. Also look for seasonality. So if, for example, let's say this trends down, look at this radon mitigation system cost. All right, so this doesn't get searched a lot, but it's also trended down, it looks like, for the last year. So maybe you might want to kind of think of why that is and ask if you want to create content around that. Those are just kind of things you want to be thinking about and how you want to approach your keyword research process. Because the more keywords you can rank on the first page of Google, Google will automatically recommend your website first for other keyword terms, and then it just kind of stacks value on top of each other, and before you know it, you're getting a lot of traffic. So I'm Brandon Stiles. I'm a digital marketer in Atlanta. That is how you do keyword research for your page and your website. So go out now, find those keywords, get on the first page of Google, and make it happen. Please subscribe to this channel if this was any help to you. I try and put out videos every day if I can to try and help you build your business. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.